word to the wise, if D sends you TikTok affirmations, just say, no, thank you. My goodness. We are coming at you late on Wednesday morning because we're going to blame D maybe. You want to blame you or AT&T? We'll probably blame AT&T.
Well, it was technically AT&T's fault, but I was thinking the same thing last night. I was like, man, we're not going to do affirmations anymore. There was something wrong with those.
Well, we were having trouble with our recording 2 days ago. We kept trying to log into the studio and we were getting this error message about trying to reach the server. Okay, whatever. Got through it. Yesterday, get our legal work done. We go to town, go to Pound Town, pound out that legal work. We click to enter the studio. We are in the studio for 2 seconds and then unbooted. Can't figure it out. Try resetting my modem. Try unplugging, plugging. Finally, I go and try to log into my next door neighbor's internet because she's my friend. And gosh, I logged into her internet way before I ever even bought the house next door to her. And my computer would sometimes accidentally connect to her. So I'm like, okay, cool. We'll just use hers. Blah, 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 blah. No connection there either. This is when I know there's a problem. I get on my phone, I go to my neighborhood Facebook page, and my friend had posted 24 minutes ago. She's like, the internet is down. I was like, I know, I tried to log into your account. So then I'm like, all right, well, let me try to connect to my phone internet, which has always worked in the past. But for some reason, my hotspot was only getting me maybe 1 minute of airtime. So then I'm like, all right, D, let me do this from my phone. Let's get on FaceTime and I can screen record. Well, we didn't look as nice and blurry on FaceTime. So I was like, okay, totally other idea. I'm going to go and sit outside and record it myself on a YouTube Live. I'm going to leave it unlisted. And then we should be able to paste that link into our recording studio app and edit it. I go, I get it done. I have a 30-minute episode. We go to paste it and we found out that our recording app no longer takes YouTube URLs. So then I'm like, okay, great. I will just post it live as a preview and we will record this thing tomorrow. Post it live as a preview. It gives 30 minutes. For the 30-minute episode, it gives 30 seconds. So then I'm like, D, you've got working internet. Just go online and tell the channel surfers we'll be with them tomorrow. So here we are. We are here. We're going to redo this. I'm way more excited to do this with D. This is 90 Day the Other Way, Season 7, Episode 4, Bon Bini. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the hosts, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Okay, so if y'all heard Dee's message yesterday, we're going to be disagreeing on some stuff. And I know front and center, one of these couples we aren't seeing the same way are Luke and Madeline. So Luke, again, he got there a day early. He told us this when he was leaving the airport. I think this is a horrible idea. You were blocked for a reason. Don't go groveling.
I thought that when he started explaining about having an ex that he had went and seen early and he caught her with someone, I was like, ding, ding, ding in my head. I'm like, that's what he's doing. She's blocked him. He's going to go early and see if he catches her with anybody.
Because he is the pig that she would catch with somebody else when they're on the rocks, like the person he's calling his esposa. Also, he said that was a past girlfriend, which could have two different meanings. It could mean that now that he is with Madeline, this is an ex, but at the time it was a present girlfriend. Or it could mean that at the time he showed up there, he had done something to piss her off and she blocked his butt too. And here he comes, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to try to win her back, even though I'm a jerk. And she's a past girlfriend at that point, and he catches her moving on from him.
I don't know. I was under the impression that they were like a couple at the time he showed up and caught her with someone, but who knows?
Which is what impression he would want you to have, that he's the victim, woe is him. But who gets themselves in that many situations? Why are we fighting to stay in these toxic relationships? If they say it's over, just let it be over.
Yeah,
there's going
I
to be
agree.
some exceptions to that. Like when I had postpartum depression. I mean, I was a whole different person when I got diagnosed with PPD. I was not in my right mind. I recognized that, I think, pretty quickly and went to the doctor to get those meds, get that Lexapro. But when it's a girlfriend, y'all don't even have anything tied up together. And I wasn't blocking my husband or anything. I was just like wanting to run away and go start a whole new life in Georgia, which just tells you how insane I was at that point. I never want to live in Georgia. Anyway.
Yeah, when me and my husband started dating, there wasn't even cell phones, let alone block somebody. So.
I don't get that world. Just block them. So yeah, was this his ex at the time, or was he on one of these ridiculous breaks? Channel surfers, sound off in the comments. If you're on YouTube, come over to the Facebook group. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, let us know what you think. Was Luke like just doing what he's doing now and invading the personal space that the person he's with needs to kind of move on from his temper tantrums? Or is he just this unlucky Joe? Let us know what you think. So where else, Dee? Where else should the cab driver take Luke when he arrives in Colombia? Should he be going to a hotel, maybe unpacking, waiting for Madeline to finish working her business for the day?
Well, I thought that was what he should be doing, but that's not what he did.
It's not. No, nothing says stalker like I'm showing up at your place of work, your business, to which you are a key essential element of, and where you can't get away. It was so creepy. As somebody that has a business, she has set a boundary, and I just feel like he's blowing past it.
Yeah. Well, he had to stop and get flowers first. Like, that's going to make a difference.
Yeah, no, the flowers are going to solve anything. I'm sorry. Did you ever watch The Room with Tommy Wiseau? So this is the best, worst film ever made. Like, this guy, the real life story, he was in acting school and they weren't getting any parts. And you'll see why when you see the movie. So he funded this movie called The Room. It is so bad. The acting is bad. The storyline is bad. It's so bad that it's absolutely hilarious. I've seen it in the theaters here in Charleston at the Terrace. I know when Johnny was working with us, an attorney that worked with us, he borrowed The Room and lost it. And Rob was like, "Where's The Room?" They also made a kind of spinoff of it called The Disaster Artist that had James Franco. Anyway, one of the scenes in The Room, Tommy Wiseau walks into a flower shop. He's driving himself, but you see him pull over and stop, very much like you see in 90 Day. He gets out. He goes into the flower shop. It looks a lot like this flower shop that we see in this 90 Day Toe episode that Luke walks into. And there's this dog sitting right there on the counter, and he orders a dozen roses. And then he's like, "Oh, hi, doggy." And then he grabs the roses and walks out. And it's just so random. He's like, "Hi, doggy." So many random moments like that. The worst one is at the beginning. There's this like love making scene that goes on forever. And like you think it's about to be over, but they just keep going at it. My Mama C, thought it was hilarious. My dad was so offended by it. It's so funny though, because it's like, this should not be happening. You're like, is he humping her belly button? It's just really strange. Anyway, I digress. The Room with Tommy Wiseau, written, directed, acted in by Tommy Wiseau. Check it out. But yeah, that flower shop scene seemed like a Tommy moment to me. Oh, hi, doggy. Now, Madeline loves helping people feel beautiful, which, like, the first thing I ever wanted to do for a career when I was younger was be a cosmetologist. And you've actually done that.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a expired license to do hair. I actually was helping you cut your hair during COVID. We would get on Zoom and I would talk you through it so you could cut it.
I did. I learned how to give myself some cute little bobs and layers. It was fun.
I know. You wouldn't know it by the way I wear my hair now, but because I just throw it in a ponytail most days.
You know, if I didn't have this blowout, I would do the same thing. But I just thought that would be so fun. In fact, I was thinking about doing my nails today on the pod because I couldn't do them yesterday. I didn't have the internet. It's just my excuse for everything. Didn't have the internet. Anyway, And then I wanted to be a orthodontist because I wanted to give people beautiful smiles. And then I found out you have to dissect cadavers. And I was like, let me think on that. And actually, after my first year of college, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And they were like, whoops, we put you in undecided liberal arts, which led me down a path to law school. Anyway, I digress. I think it looks fun. Her mom's coming in to get her nails done. Sandra is gorgeous.
She is. But she had her really young too, right?
Yeah, so young. Her mom's still wearing braces.
Hey, I'm thinking about getting braces again.
Girl, do it. Do it. My mother-in-law was like 75 when she got another set of braces on.
Yeah.
She just got them off recently. Go for it. And because Sandra had Madeline so young, she had to work a lot. And that's understandable that a child would have trouble wrapping their brain around why mommy's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And it caused some friction with them. But as adults, she has a close relationship with her mom. It sounds like they have a lot of fun. Like they go out together. She's come to get her nails did at Madeline's salon. And she's just so proud of her daughter. She just supports her business. I'm really proud of Madeline to be where she's at.
Yeah, absolutely. Most people that age don't know what they want to do with their life, or they're sitting in their parents' basement playing video games.
And it's not like somebody's mommy and daddy handed them a big loan for her to go out and start this business. She pulled herself up by her bootstraps.
Well, I mean, she had a ton of degrees on the wall.
Mm-hmm. She really did. For 20.
There had to have been at least a dozen.
Yeah. There was the acrylic one. That's the only one I remember.
I couldn't read them as I was watching it, but I seen a bunch of them.
She has that Botox one. Then Chloe can take a little flight over there and get her some Botox from Madeline. One of the reasons that Madeline says she was able to move past her childhood with her mother was because Luke taught her that the past needs to be left in the past. Now, Dee, I don't think this was some gratuitous lesson to help a mother and daughter. My guess is this was a lesson when he went and started calling someone esposa. He was like, oh, Madeline, we need to forget the past.
You think it was a premeditated?
I think it was to help him. I don't think it was in the context of helping mom, but I think in the process of forgiving him, she realized I can forgive my mom too.
Well, maybe he wanted her spending time with her mom so she wouldn't be spending time with somebody else too. I think he has a lot of insecurities.
You think?
You really got it bad for this guy.
Not in that way. This ain't Usher's You Got It Bad. Orange You Got It Bad is way worse. I'm not liking this. I know that you feel very differently about Madeline, but I want to protect her.
It doesn't mean that I don't like her, and it doesn't mean that I like him. I'm not disagreeing with everything that you think about him. I think she's a brat.
I think she deserves to get the things that she wants because she's worked for it. She didn't get them as a child. She's worked hard so she can get them.
Well, as long as she's paying for them, then who cares?
Well, and I think that's fine, but Luke promised her this wedding. We'll get into that. We are going to get into this because you and I see this very differently.
I do.
Now, Luke pops in. Surprisingly, Sandra likes Luke. I was surprised. She actually thinks he's a super nice guy, which probably goes to show that the editors are playing tricks with us.
Yeah, that's a good possibility. I think she actually talks to him on the phone some, doesn't she?
She does. That's what she said. So, like I said, I think
editing is making you
hate
him more than you do.
Editing isn't trying to make me hate Luke. I think it's trying to make me think Madeline's a brat. But when I'm sitting here putting two and two together for Luke, I'm just like, this dude's not looking good with the edit. I don't trust reality TV editors. It is a remote reality that we are watching. Hence the name, remote reality, TV remote. It's remotely true, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's not as bad. Madeline, also, her reaction's very strange when he walks in. She looks like she's happy he's there. She's smiling. Anyway, Luke, he pulls up to the flower shop. He tells the guy, he's like, wait outside in the cab. Just hold on a minute. So, this could go either way. And also, when he's in the cab, he says, tengo mucho calor, which means I'm very hot. I just want to, this one, it's always interesting. I always think about this, what I'm trying to say. Like, ooh, that person's hot. Like sexy versus it's hot outside. So tengo mucho calor is I have a lot of heat. So that means temperature-wise. It does not translate like it does in English to also mean hot is sexy. It would be something like soy sexy or soy guapo. I'm sexy. It's more like sexy, or I'm handsome. And it's a whole different, it's I am instead of I have heat. All right, there's your Spanish lesson for today. Not that I should be giving them. Me trying to talk to my housemates yesterday was another disaster. I'm like, lo siento, mi español es muy mal.
Just get Jake.
I know, he was at school. They think he's cute when he does it. With me, they're looking at me like, you idiot. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm stupid. So estúpido.
I wouldn't even try. I'd just be like, no español.
I know. I was just asking them to clean my room first because we were going to try to record anyway.
I'd probably be doing Pictionary.
God, me imagining trying to do Pictionary. That might be even worse. You've seen my handwriting.
Well, we already had a competition one time with we had to draw Courtney from 90 Day Hunt for Love. Yeah, I totally lost that. I don't know what I drew. Years ago, like when we were in Fort Mill with the law practice right outside of Charlotte, I was handwriting my notes and I showed you one day. I was like, Dee, what did I write? Do you remember what you said? No.
You said, how am I supposed to know, Lauren? You wrote it and you can't even tell.
That sounds about like something. I probably had some cuss words in there too.
I probably deserved it. That's why I type my notes now. So Luke walks in with the flowers. Madeline is smiling. And then he says, are you happy I'm here? And she says, no.
No.
But it's almost like she's teasing him. So maybe this is just acting. It's almost like she's kind of picking at him.
If it is, it's bad.
She doesn't like surprises. I don't know that I would like this surprise either, as I've been saying.
Yeah, I don't like surprises either.
Madeline wants to know why Luke didn't call her on the way in, which is kind of strange because when he's on the airplane flying in, you see him making a video message. Immediately, I'm thinking, oh, he got unblocked. He's sending a message to Madeline. But that's not really what happened. I don't know what he was doing.
No, I don't know either. Well, I think if you block someone on your phone and they send you like a voice message, I think it still goes through, but it's like in a separate section. Like you'd have to go to blocked messages to hear it.
Or maybe he was posting it on her Facebook or something, sending it by email.
Yeah, that's a good possibility, or Messenger or something like that.
But she says, no, remember why I blocked you? Turns out Luke cannot talk money with her. Any conversation of money leads to them bickering and problems and fighting. And she's at a point where she's got 2 days left to post the rest of the fee for the wedding, or they cancel it. And it just so happens she's meeting with the wedding planner tonight, so Luke can join. And Luke wants an accounting. He thinks the accounting is off. Now, Luke, he promised her the wedding of her dreams, and they sit down to talk to the wedding planner, and the first thing is the wedding planner saying everything's been super late, which is what we're hearing Madeline say. The payments for the wedding, she tries talking to him about it. She says that they're going to be late, and he just doesn't listen. They agreed to a $12,000 budget, and $4,000 is still owed on the wedding. Now, that $4,000 number, that makes Madeline very stressed out. She grabs that jar of Nutella and just starts digging it out with her fingers.
I was like so grossed out watching her with that Nutella and those fingernails, just eating it right off of her finger. I'm like, please get a spoon. Please.
And this is part one where Dee and I kind of disagree. The nails part, that is kind of gross because so much crap can get under your nails. I mean, I don't have nails. But the digging out with your finger and eating it, I'm all there. I'm game.
No. Like, I would be like, I'm not eating anything out of this woman's house if I'm visiting, because I know that she's going to eat with her fingers straight out of everything. The peanut butter, the Nutella. Yuck. Gross. No. You know I'm a germaphobe. There's no way. I mean, everything in my brain is screaming watching her do that.
Maybe that's her own personal jar of Nutella.
I didn't
for
see her
emergencies.
name on it. Like, I would have put my name on it.
Who is she living with right now?
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure she fixes food for people at some point. Maybe.
Ew.
I mean, I don't know. Somebody comes over, you want a Nutella sandwich?
I don't think I've ever offered anybody a Nutella sandwich. Bad hostess.
I don't eat Nutella, so I don't.
Delicious. Dee, what are you doing with your fingers?
I'm not eating food out of a jar with them. I go like a normal person and get a spoon.
Hey, normal people use fingers too. All right. Well, tell us how you understood this conversation with the wedding planner.
Yeah, because we have talked about it a little bit, and I'm a little bit confused because I thought he had already sent her the $12,000 for the budget.
It was my impression that he was getting statements and paying toward it. So that's why it was like $1,000 in December, and he was just on like a payment plan.
Yeah. I mean, I understand him wanting an itemized list of, what the money is being spent on.
It sounds like he was getting that. And this is how I understood it. He was on a payment plan for this wedding. He's had over a year to make the payments. He's been getting invoices that say that they're late, and he's not understanding. He's feigning to be stupid because he sent $1,000 in December, and he says that was supposed to go toward the wedding. And when he finally opens up his ears during this meeting with the wedding planner to listen to Madeline, she's going, no, you told me to put $245 toward the dress. And then the rest of it was going to pay for property rent, which I don't know what property rent they're talking about. This could be the nail studio rent. This could be her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something related to a business because he is trying to set up multiple businesses there. So they're not specific as to what the rent was, but he does seem to understand and kind of recalling, yeah, that's... First, he's like, pull out your bank statement. I'll prove to you I sent it. And she's like, fine, look. He's like, there it is. She goes, yeah. And you know what you told me to do with it? You told me to pay property rent. So we got a $4,000 problem. We know that Luke got $3,000 from his dad. We also know that Madeline, when she was in the nail studio earlier, was saying her money made from the business this month was $4,300. About $52,000 a year. Now, the part that we're missing, I think a very crucial part here, is whether that $4,300 was income or revenue. Do you guys know the difference, channel surfers? Dee and I do this often. Do you want to explain the difference between revenue and income?
Revenue is the money that comes in. Income is the money after expenses have been spent.
Exactly. So a business brings in money, but that money goes toward necessary operating expenses. Like with my law firm, I use it to pay my office rent. And I use it to pay Dee, the most necessary of the expenses. I use it to pay for my software, my petition planning software. I use it to pay for PACER fees when I'm pulling things on the federal records. I use it to pay for credit reports for clients. I use it to pay for advertising cost. I use it to pay for Adobe Live and Microsoft Excel and all of that fun stuff. So even though a certain amount comes in, I have all of this stuff to pay before I see a penny of it. And without that, I can't run my business. Kind of like the podcast right now, $0 a month comes in, but we pay for the studio. We pay for the equipment. We pay for the podcasting app where we go and send it out to the podcast. We paid for the app where we send out the social media post. There's just a lot of expenses. And right now that's going to be a write-off on taxes, which is fine. I'm excited to be able to write YouTube off of our taxes. So that's how that works.
Off too.
I think we made $17 off the t-shirt store, and I bought all but 2 of those t-shirts. It's fine. We're just having fun doing this. We're having so much fun. We love the channel surfers. We love
not stressing.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny. Like, we even get like negative comments sometimes, but it's so different than if we're like working, doing the law stuff, and we're getting negative feedback. We deal with people that are just in really tough situations and
don't always like what you have to say.
Right. Like, I got to tell you what the law says. I wish I could just be a genie in a bottle and give you a magical answer, but sometimes it's more complicated than that. Sometimes it's not what you want to hear. And when you're in that tough a situation, like a pressure cooker, it's hard to hear that. It's hard to tell people that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have stuff that's super hard to tell people.
It's really hard, like if they're, they have a foreclosure and they're about to lose their house. And since I've been with you, I think there's really only been like a couple of them that you were like, no, we can't do anything. There's nothing we can do.
But even at that, it's just hard to give news that isn't what they were hoping for. It still could be great news. Like it still could absolutely change their lives, but it's not what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And we're very understanding of that. But sometimes I think we kind of get the flack for it. We get blamed for the law being the way it is.
I get blamed a lot.
Oh, yeah. They love to blame Dee. I'm just like, Dee's been working for me forever.
Yeah.
They'll
tell me. I record the information. I write it down. I make notes.
But you know what? It is, to me, it's a lot easier to take the hate online, like from the podcast. I'm just like, oh, this is cute. This is probably some 12-year-old on their mommy's computer saying this stuff versus me. And a lot of times we're giving free consultations because we deal with a lot of people that have debt.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing free work. We're just trying to give them information. Like I'm not high pressure. I'm not like, hey, you definitely need to do this and hire me today. Unless it's an absolute emergency. I tell them, look, we talked about a lot of stuff. Try to process it. Reach out if you have questions because it's all going to percolate. Like you're going to think about this stuff and then have questions. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to answer those questions. No rush. But then for people to get super mad just because I'm not telling them what they like, I'm like, I could tell you what you like and you could pay me money. I don't want to take your money and not help you.
Right.
Anyway, we digress. I don't even know how we got off on that ADHD sidetrack.
Revenue.
Businesses, revenue, expenses. So we don't know if Madeline's money in is what she brought in for the business before they paid for the acrylic and the rent and the people that we saw working there and the hand creams and the soap and the electricity and the water and the phone bill. We don't know if that was before or after expenses. So she may or may not have that $4,000 to spend. I don't know if that was her bottom line, her income, or if that was the revenue. So here's the dilemma. They got to get $4,000 together or they put the $3,000 down and they've got to make some cut. What's your take, Dee?
I thought she was a brat about it. She wants everything. She doesn't want to cut anything. She's basically saying if we have to cut anything, we're not getting married. I just thought that was a ridiculous response.
What I'm saying is Luke making promises and breaking them to her. They were supposed to get married after 6 months. They were supposed to get married after a year. The excuse that he's given her for pushing it back is money. And now he's had even more time for them to get married. He has pushed this thing off to give her the wedding of her dreams, which is what he said he was going to give her. And we've got 2 days and she has to cut some of the things. And she spent time planning this wedding. She's calling him. He's not giving her input. She's like, well, unless he's just not giving her the input she wants. I'm thinking he's just not talking about it because it's financial. And he's thinking lack of communication is better than communication, which it's not. I think she's just disappointed. She's got 2 days to pay for this. She has tried to talk to him. He's done nothing but fight with her. And she's given him extra time. She's given him extra time. And he's just breaking down communication. She's mad.
Well, I understand her being mad, but I also think that she needs to adjust her expectations. If $3,000 is all they have, he doesn't have a job because he quit his job to come there. Look, if you want to marry
for a whole extra year so that he could save up that money.
I'm just saying that if you really want to marry somebody, you're not going to, stand on $1,000 of stuff that needs to be cut out of a wedding and say, if I don't get what I want, I'm not going to marry you. I would be like, okay, don't marry me then.
I think this is a symptom of a bigger problem.
It may be.
She is upset that he is failing with finances. He has persistently done this. His sunglasses and jewelry business were a fail. He's already in tons of debt and hasn't even bought the property for Colombia. And that's not a great recipe for success. And here is a measly $4,000 in a year that he needs to come up with, and he's unable to do it. Finances cause a lot of pressure. She has been in a position before where she didn't have anything, I think that's the deeper symptom here. I think his inability to save this amount of money in a year and her knowing the debt he's coming in with, that's got to be very stressful. And the fact that he won't talk to her about it and break down communications, she's like, look, dude, I'm giving you a chance to prove that you can do this. You've failed so many other times. And the sad thing is that you and I both realize, because we have a lot more life behind us than Madeline does at 20, is he's not going to change. Just look at his track record.
Right. Well, I mean, if that's a make it or break it thing for her, then I think she needs to just go ahead and break it.
Finances can absolutely be a make it or break it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that it's definitely...
She really wants him to have a chance, though. She loves him, but she thinks he can change.
Right.
And we're seeing the same guy that she has given a year to get his stuff together.
Yeah, I was going to say, finances are one of the major reasons that married couples will fight. So if it's something that she's not okay with, she needs to look at the bigger picture.
I think that's hard at 20. And that's the thing. I don't think she's a brat. I think
her
she
response
is scared
was,
of the financial situation, but she really loves him and she thinks she can change him. I think that's her mistake.
Yeah, I still think her reaction, though, was a brat about it. I would just be like, okay, I don't need a helicopter to take me to my wedding.
I think, but see, and that's
just
if
ridiculous.
That's it, that's a brat, but I see the problem being...
You think her brattiness is covering up something else?
The financial insecurity.
Yeah,
he's not even listening to the finances. So how is she going to say... this is the problem when he doesn't listen and he shuts down when she tries to say this is the problem?
Yeah, it's a good possibility. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's frustrating.
I didn't think her reaction was appropriate. I was just like, okay, then don't marry him. If it's
I
that
think
big a
that
deal.
is a great way to edit it and make it easy and not complicated. But they also do go into the deep dive here. I don't know. Agree to disagree. I love Madeline.
I'm
Luke
not
needs some
saying
help.
that I don't like her. I'm just saying her behavior was very bratty during that scene. And I've seen it in the first episode with something. Last episode, I really liked her. She didn't do any of that. Had a lot of respect for her. She's a go-getter. She's done a lot on her own. I don't dislike her.
But it's more than the helicopter. I've given you a year to save this up. This is what we agreed on. The dude is walking into Colombia with a ton of debt. Like, if you can't get this together in a year. Anyway, though, so Dee and I have done some immigration law CLEs in the U.S. It was an area we are kind of interested in getting into. I think family immigration would be very fun to help people come over on K-1 visas or family visas. There's all kinds of visas. And with the United States, you come in and you're allowed to do what's on your visa, but you can't exceed that allowance. So like if you come in on a K-1 visa, that's not a work visa. You can't go and work because the K-1 visa allows you to come to get married within 90 days to your fiance. So I was wondering, in Colombia, how does this work? I'm not giving legal advice. We're just kind of using my lawyer brain to search Google, which absolutely could be wrong, especially in other countries. Like I know how to research law within the U.S., but if we're going country to country, whatever. But none of this is legal advice. What I'm finding, though, with Colombia is there is no fiance visa. You go over there on a visa. Maybe it's a visitor's visa, and you get married to somebody in Colombia, and then you apply for the spousal visa after you get married. You don't have to have permission to get married.
Interesting.
Now, as far as an employment visa, it's very much like the U.S. You have to have an employer that's sponsoring, like filling out the paperwork for your visa. Now, in the U.S., it has to be like a very specialized job. Usually, they're not just giving anybody a worker's visa, but there's also in the U.S. an investor's visa. So if somebody has over $1 million that they want to come put into the U.S. economy, basically they can pay their way into a visa. Colombia also seems to have an investor's visa. That would likely be the visa that Luke is coming in on, or at least he may be doing that to start this business, or he might just be there on a visitor visa to marry her and then worry about the other stuff later. But if he doesn't have that investor's visa already, that could explain why he's paying money to Madeline and Madeline's paying the rent.
Yeah.
So there's different ways that could go. But I just thought it was interesting they didn't have a fiancé visa. Anything else about Madeline and Luke?
No, I'm good with everything else.
All right, well, let's go on to Manon and Anthony. Manon and Anthony have arrived in Marseille, and they're headed to her mom and dad's house, which isn't the same house that she grew up in. No. They were empty nesters, and God forbid they decide to downsize, especially with, one of their kids having moved to the U.S. 10 years before.
Mm-hmm.
But this does not suit Manon well. She does not like this small space.
It's very cramped quarters.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I thought it was very provincial and quaint.
Considering they're living there rent-free,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fine. This is very dramatic. Manon was like, where am I going to put my clothes? On the floor in the baby's crib while the baby sleeps in my bed? I can't sleep at night. No, you just get like a hanging rack and hang some stuff up on it. It's fine.
Just wheel those 10 suitcases out to the garage and go out there. Use it as your closet.
Oh my God, that dachshund. Did you see the little dachshund running around? It looked like Elvis and Little Man. Our little Chowinis. It had those same like eyebrow markings. It was so cute. I think dachshunds are adorable.
One of my friends on Facebook just had 4 puppies.
Oh,
yeah, 4 dachshund puppies. It's so cute.
Just say no.
I know. No.
Now, when Manon gets there, she just wants to go to bed. I don't blame her. 17 hours with a toddler.
I would have been exhausted. That's exactly what I would have done. I would have went straight to bed.
I can't imagine. Mm-mm. That's a wild trip.
Yeah, I get impatient with a 3-hour trip or flight, so I can't imagine 17 with a toddler.
Now, she's also saying they don't have any privacy. There's only one wall between the bedrooms. And I was thinking about it. I don't think that's that uncommon. Like my house before this one only had one wall separating the 3 bedrooms.
Was
just
it
depends on the layout.
Wall, or was it maybe cloth that like an accordion wall or something?
No, I think it was an actual wall that looked like a curtain covering a mirror.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was like an accordion wall or something behind it when she said just one wall.
Well, that would be kind of crazy, especially since Manon is wanting to get down, and that's one of their big arguments.
Yeah, she's not getting enough attention, enough love.
I'm too tired. It's exhausting. Anthony, I'm going to have to agree with you here. I just want to sleep. That kid wears me down. Now, Anthony, he says that Manon invalidates how he feels because she doesn't want to hear that he's the primary caretaker. And Manon says, no, I tell you you're a great dad. I tell you you're a great husband. But also, I'm the primary breadwinner. I'm giving you this credit. You're not giving me any of the credit. So I feel like her telling him what a great job he's doing as a dad and as a husband is validating.
Absolutely.
Versus when she says this to Anthony, he goes, well, that's not valid. Literally invalidates her. Literally says, this is not valid. Your feelings are not valid.
Yeah, he's not my favorite in this show, as you know. Yours isn't Luke, but mine is Anthony.
Mine isn't Anthony either.
He makes me so mad.
The hypocrisy in that.
Yeah, it's me. And it's like he has no empathy, or sympathy. He can't put himself in her position and see, feel what she's feeling and understand it and validate it. Or first of all, I don't quite understand the whole validating of people's feelings all the time, but whatever.
He's like, I don't have feelings. Who cares?
I don't understand. I'm a firm believer that other people don't need to validate my feelings. They're my feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I agree. My feelings are my feelings. If you don't like them, fuck it.
Yeah, I don't expect another human being to.
But then, as an empathetic person, I do try to understand where other people are coming from.
I do try to understand where somebody else is coming from. I'm just saying my expectation is not for somebody else to make a difference in how I feel about something.
Oh yeah, I'm going to feel how I feel no matter.
Right. I agree. And I'm not going to blame somebody else for it either. So whatever. But they're not doing this very well. He's not accepting her validation because I think that what she is saying is validating. And he is completely disregarding what she says that she needs.
Now, he also is so nitpicky. Manon is asking him, can I do this? And he says, I don't want you to ask me. Just tell me you're going to do it. She's trying to communicate with you as the person who has been the primary caregiver to make sure she's not stepping on your toes. Just, why can't you just let that go? Like, if she asks, just say, yeah, that would be super helpful.
Yeah, what makes the difference whether she asks if she can help to do something or if she just goes ahead and does it? I mean, I don't understand what he's saying.
She just goes ahead and does it, though. Like, maybe that's something he would have rather done. Like, maybe he would rather play with the baby than go fold the baby's clothes.
Well, or he might have his own system that he wants to, you know, the
Right.
way that he does something every day. So I think it's perfectly fine that she asked, you know, can I help you do this? Is there anything I can help you with? And his reaction to it was just
Like,
ridiculous.
don't communicate with me. Just do it's absolutely ridiculous.
Just read my mind. Just read my mind. Do what I'm telling you to do in my mind.
They just need to let this little stuff go. Now, last week, my friend Joy, who loves this show, she sent me a text and she goes, Lauren, you said that Anthony was in stock trading. I was like, yeah, I think they said securities. She goes, no, I think they said security. Very different. Securities is like stock trading. SE would be maybe store security, camera security, security guard. So we had to do a little deep dive. I'm like, let me check. I found Luke's LinkedIn page and he did work for a security company until 2001. Why does that matter? Ben was born in 2023. I'm sorry, 2021 is when he left it, not 2001. Day brain. 23 is when they had Ben. The story that they're spinning to us on 90 Day is that he left his job in security because it made more sense for him to stay at home than to pay for daycare. When in reality, on his LinkedIn profile, which he creates, it says he left that job 2 years before his son was born.
Interesting.
It's the storyline, y'all. Further, we found that he has a current business. He and Manon have a current business that they own together that they started right after he left security in 2021. This is a marketing business and it is directed mostly at doctors like plastic surgeons. They also have influencers come in and help sell the products. So they have something where influencers can sign up. They put how many followers they have and they're going to try to get the influencers business. It's all done digitally. It is digital marketing. It can be done from anywhere. My guess is that Luke and Manon were deciding to sell their house anyway.
Anthony.
The reason they didn't go talk to a debt attorney, like we were, like if you're moving to France, why not figure out your options? Can your creditors even get you there? It's because this isn't long term. They're coming back. This is just a little vacation for little Ben to have some time with his grandparents. Little opportunity to get their names and faces on TV, to kind of become influencers themselves where people see them and want to work with them, which also would explain the overdramatic bad acting that we're seeing here. The illogical stories like, let's move to France and Luke can get a job even though he doesn't speak French, also would explain why they're moving in with his parents temporarily or her parents temporarily, because they're not looking to sign a year lease. They're looking to come back. That's my theory. I think this is made up 100%. She is working in LA. She works with models. She's probably met a producer and they're like, great. Even though you're married, we will twist this into our 90 Day the Other Way storyline. Because remember, the other way, traditionally, is couples who are not married yet, who are moving to marry. And that's not the situation here either. They're trying to fit a story, a square peg into a round hole. We're having some trouble doing it, which is where I think we're getting these contradictions, hypocrisies, and frustrations within the storyline. They didn't have someone go set up a logical storyline. They're like, oh, let's just go with the flow.
Yeah, it's a very good possibility. It makes sense what you're saying.
Now, there's another couple where my BS meter is going off the charts. That's Greta and Matthew. we are getting different stories. First, we hear that Greta is moving over to the UK and she's going to live with Matthew and his parents, and she's going to volunteer. And once they find a place to live, then she's going to bring Hazel over. Then we see her on a call the next episode saying, Matthew, you're not looking for places yet. I'm sorry. This is a different plan than the one we heard in the first episode. Then we go back to plan A in the third episode where she's going to go over there and live with Matthew and eventually they will get a place. But now her dropping Hazel off with its new parents.
She says new parents, but then she also said in the episode that they were kind enough to take her until she could get her. So I feel
like she's hamming up this drama.
It's a possibility, but it was a contradiction, because you think when new parents, you think, okay, she's not getting the cat back, but then she says, that they're just taking the cat until she can bring Hazel over there with her.
Some of the ways they're editing it makes it sound like she's never getting it back and she's saying goodbye for good.
Yeah. It was heartbreaking to watch.
The new parents are saying they are privileged to be able to watch Hazel for the time. So I think this is just temporary, and they're like, okay, well, we need to juice up the storyline. Let's really get at the animal lovers. The other thing, she says that Hazel is not going to understand what's happening. This isn't the first time she's left Hazel. Didn't she go for 5 weeks to see Matthew?
She said that their trips or their visits were usually 5 weeks at a time.
So Hazel's been left behind before.
Maybe she's thinking not permanently, this is going to be an extended time. It's not 5 weeks. It's longer. I don't know.
This isn't permanently either. Now, it reminds me of Lily, my pit bull I used to have. She was such a mama's girl. She would shake when I would get in the shower because she knew that meant I was leaving the house. And when we would go on vacation, we'd come home and she would give me the cold shoulder. I would try to give her kisses. She'd go and shove her head in the corner of the couch to hide from me. She wouldn't even look at me, but she would give my husband the most love ever. It was almost like, Mommy, I'm teaching you a lesson. You don't leave me.
They're so smart.
I wonder if that's what Hazel's doing here.
Maybe.
They have a lot of things in common. Hazel likes to cuddle also. She likes pets. She likes to be held. Lily, all of those things.
I didn't see Hazel acting too upset with her.
No.
But
she hadn't left yet. When she comes back, Hazel might be ripping at her curtains.
That's true.
So Greta's telling the Uber driver she's going to live with her fiance, but they don't have a wedding date set. Which got me thinking, what does this look like in the UK? What does this look like when you're going to Britain? In Britain, they have a 6-month fiance visa. 6 months to get to know your spouse and get married, or your fiance and get married. That visa, though, has limitations and it does not allow work. And when I was looking into how do we define work, it even meant unpaid volunteer jobs.
Ooh.
Problem. She's going there to volunteer, which makes me wonder if she is going there on a work visa to maybe get her bar established, to volunteer and network. And that's why they're not getting married on this trip, because she's just going there to volunteer and kind of get things set up.
That would make sense. Because she's telling the cab driver or whoever it is that's driving her to the airport that they don't have a date because she thinks it's important to live with someone first, which I agree.
Which is fine because they have a 6-month if they're on a fiance, but it does not explain how she's volunteering. She couldn't on that visa. I smell a storyline. Anyway, moving on, Chloe and Johnny. At the beginning of this scene, I thought I heard sex noises and I was scared.
I did.
I was like, there's not even a wall. They got the doors wide open.
I thought so too. I was like, because it's like a picture, you're just seeing the outside of the house, but you hear the noises, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're having sex.
Panting. No, it turns out that Johnny's just doing push-ups and Chloe's just taking a shower. In fact, she said if he tried to touch her the night before, she'd have punched him in the face because she was tired.
Totally relatable.
Well, I mean, I don't throw punches, but She looks scrappy. I'd be
No
scared if I
comment.
was Johnny.
I'm like, no comment. No comment.
No comment either, because I have stuff to say and I know I'll get in trouble for it. Anyway, I thought it was sweet that he took a few days off to spend with her and take her to her favorite beaches.
Yeah, I did too. Spend some time with her, just kind of make her feel at home.
And he's like, we better go get some breakfast, go eat some breakfast first so you don't get hungry, which immediately I'm like, pump the brakes. Where are your beach snacks?
You're right. I didn't see them packing any beach snacks.
No.
Like we have Ho-Hos and Ding Dongs and Pringles and peanuts. I mean, we have a whole like smorgasbord. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You take snacks to the beach. Now, so what else do you like to take to the beach?
Watermelon, cantaloupe. If we have the cooler, we'll put stuff like that so we can eat it. Grapes.
Oh, yeah.
And,
We always
and then
take a cooler.
And I always have Slim Jims. Like I always have a box of Slim Jims in my beach bag.
Last time we went to the beach, we took fried chicken, Lunchables, which the dogs ate some of both of those and ate a lot of sand and ended up with diarrhea that went right through the deck. That was the story. We had some high chew candies, trail mix, Oreos, Capri Suns, and these Malibu seltzers and water bottles. But you go to the beach with snacks. And one of my favorite ones are Uncrustables, or just make your own peanut butter and jelly sandwich, freeze it, and then put it in your cooler. And by the time you're ready to eat it, it'll be a nice cold sandwich.
Ooh, yum.
It's a great trick, or those Uncrustables. So, yeah, no, they're going to do hard-boiled eggs, which Chloe knows how to bake those on the oven. To be fair, when all this is happening, I'm like, why don't you bake these in the oven? Have you ever made hard-boiled eggs in the oven?
No.
It is the simplest thing.
I
You don't even
boil
use
them.
water. I just
boil them.
I just put them in cupcake tins, just a whole egg, no water. You bake it in the oven, you pull it out, you put the eggs in ice water, like the second part of boiling the eggs. They like crack perfectly. Inside of it doesn't turn gray. It's perfect.
How long do you have to bake them?
I'll have
Like
to
what
Google
temperature
it.
for how long?
I would say like 350 for 12 minutes, but y'all Google that. It's the easiest thing. You don't have to boil water or anything. And they come out perfect.
I did
Perfect.
not know you could do that.
Yes. Hard-boiled eggs in the oven without water, so it's not really boiled. It's just
I'll
baked
have to
eggs.
try that the next time I make my deviled eggs.
You will. They do. They make the perfect deviled eggs. They're great for Easter. They're great for anything that you need a boiled egg for. Egg sandwiches, whatever. So, Chloe is afraid of the gas stove, which I don't blame her. This is the first house I've had gas in. I also have been used to electric. And I had the same fear. Like, if I was turning the gas on for too long, I was like, well, if I spark it, there's going to be gas that I can't see accumulating around the stove. I don't know how far that flame's going to go.
Yeah. I think I have to really think back to the first time I ever used a gas stove. So I probably, I had that fear. But, you just push it down, and as soon as you hear that click and go, it'll.
And as soon as someone showed me how to do it, you pick right up on it. And it's amazing. You don't have to wait for it to heat up. You can just automatically start cooking. I love it now that I have it. Yeah. And once I was showed how to do it, it's not a big deal at all. And once he showed her how to do it, it wasn't a big deal. I couldn't believe that she thought that incense was something to do with the stove because, she could smell it. It was sitting right beside her. People next door could smell the incense. I could smell it from here like a year after it was filmed. Let's be honest. Takes me back to those Catholic school days when you could smell the incense burning.
Yeah, I've never been an incense burner. Candles, that's my jam, but not the incense.
Now he's worried about how she's been accustomed to coming there and eating out every meal, but they're not on vacation.
Right.
This can't be a long-term solution. Not for him, not on his salary. Maybe if she's making $6,000 a year, or sorry, $100,000 a year, and her mom is paying for all her expenses, yeah, you probably can't eat out every day. But that's not our situation now.
Yeah, that's not realistic now.
I don't know that she's quite understanding that.
No, I don't think so either.
So again, back to a financial difference. Same as what we're seeing with Luke and Madeline, maybe a little different because they do seem to be communicating better about it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. That's it. That is 90 Day the other way. Coming to you late because AT&T, it's their fault. We're about to start watching Love is Blind. They dropped 6 episodes. We're going to watch and record today. I'm not sure how many will come out today. I was not expecting 6 to drop. I was expecting 3 to drop. They doubled us, but Dee's never seen this, so
I've never seen it, so I'm interested in.
I'm quite excited for her to see this. This is my favorite reality TV of all time. I look forward to this every time it comes out. So we will be back with another episode today, at least one other episode of Love is Blind, season 9. And we'll see you later, Channel Surfers. Make sure to like and subscribe. That's the best way to support us.
Let's ride.
Sure.